Welcome everyone to the 2026 TESOL Media Lounge powered by Summit K-12. I'm your host, Andrea Cano, and on today's episode we have Dr. Luciana de Oliveira. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about what got you involved with TESOL, your journey to being here today?
Yes, so I actually got started at a local affiliate in California, TESOL, at California TESOL, so TESOL. When I moved to the United States, almost 29 years ago, actually. So back in 1998 was when I started being involved in at this local affiliate. And I was an interest group coordinator for the interest group that I'm not even sure if it's still active, at TESOL, but it's the non-native language educators issues interest group. I coordinated that, and it was really part of a movement that we call the non-native speaker movement in TESOL. Back then, that was really important for those of us who are multilingual, multicultural, and really felt kind of devalued by English only mentalities.
Yes.
And so we have definitely come a long way since 1998, I think, in thinking about multilingualism and the importance of, using home languages,
and
all of that. And so that's really how I got started with TESOL, being an interest group coordinator. Then I became a university level chair, assistant chair at first, and then chair. It was a 2-year commitment. From there, I started becoming more involved. Then I moved from California to Indiana. I became president of Indiana TESOL, so president-elect, then president and past president. And then I started my involvement with what we call Big TESOL,
the international,
being on committees. And then I ran for the board back in 2012, and then got elected right away, which was really cool.
What was your positioning that you ran for?
A member of the board of directors. So I served from 2013 to 2016, rotated off. You have to wait for a year. And then I put in my expression of interest to run for president. I really didn't think that I was going to even make the ballot right away, but I did. And I was elected president of TESOL in 2017. So I served 2017, and I served 2018, 2019, and rotated off in 2020. So my presidential year was 2019. And I'm super proud to say that I was the very first Latina to ever be elected and serve as TESOL president.
It's always an honor to be with strong, powerful Latinas. And being able to hear you're the first one. Felicidades.
Muchas gracias.
You said you moved here. Where did you move from when
from
you
Brazil.
first? From Brazil.
So yes, my home country is Brazil.
Brazil. Okay. So Portuguese, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Okay, and I keep speaking to you in Spanish.
No,
but
sin problema, porque mi marido es español.
Oh, okay. ¿Es de España?
De España, de España.
Y el mío es de México.
Muy bien.
But what's interesting, and I say this because my husband is nacido, creído, todo en Mexico. And he can hear Portuguese and completely, almost really understand it.
Yes.
And I know Spanish, but Spanish is my second language. So I hear it and I'm not as, I can't catch it the way he does. I've also seen my husband have a conversation with an Italian man at an airport.
Yes.
With him having no Italian background, but because of his other language of Spanish, he's able to do that. So I'm sure you're able to do that with quite a few languages.
Yes, because they're all Romance languages and Latin derived. And so, Spanish for me, learning Spanish was kind of easy, just communicating with my husband's family. My husband's family also, they also speak Catalan. I can't do Catalan, but I usually ask them, could you please speak Spanish? And I also lived in Miami for 5 years. So of course, being immersed in Spanish, I was able to develop my Spanish quite a bit.
Yes, especially moving to Miami or somewhere like that. I was fortunate that I got to go to Mexico and I stayed a year, and that's where my Spanish really picked up, and I was able to become fluent and read it and write it. And so moving to a place where Spanish is very predominant, it really helps.
Yes, exactly.
So I was going to ask you what your proudest moment is, but I would say you've kind of said that with being the first Latina president at TESOL. What would be your second big moment for you here at TESOL?
So I have really been involved with the leadership mentoring program for TESOL. So the LMP for short. It's a program designed to kind of recruit and support underrepresented minorities in the association. And I have been a recipient of the award.
Awesome.
So back in 2005, I was a recipient of the award. And I have been a mentor since 2015. And so I think that one of the an additional very proud moment is to see the folks that I've mentored and I've worked with become more involved with the association. It could be at the local level, it could be more, through different professional councils, through different ways. And so I really wanted to highlight that as part of not just my work with TESOL, but really continuing support and mentoring of new underrepresented minorities within TESOL to become more involved.
Yes. Well, I think it's important, especially with organizations such as TESOL, and we have these conferences. I think people who are not as involved don't understand it's not just a conference. There's more to it. There's leadership, there's mentorship. There's so much more to it than just coming to a conference, right?
That's right.
And then, so what can you tell us about your leadership that you've learned through working with TESOL? Like, what have you learned about leadership?
So leadership really is a process. So I don't think you can see leadership as just something static.
Yes.
And as you become more involved, you learn from the people around you. You learn, like I've learned from past presidents being, kind of like mentoring me. And that's why we have a presidential line, right? So it's a 3-year commitment. And of course, you get a lot of experience on the board while you're on the board. And so to me, it's, leadership is really part of that process. And you learn as you become more involved and with and alongside the people that are around you, supporting you, and also mentoring you for different aspects of the association, how you get involved with, local affiliates.
Yes.
All of those things are really important.
And you mentioned, because it's, you president-elect, president, past president, it is a big commitment. It's not just I come once and I do it. It's a huge commitment, but also the value that you get to bring to a TESOL, but then what you learn from TESOL has to be immense, right? And then getting to mentor new people. What would be your advice for someone who is just starting out in TESOL and really wants to be more involved? Where would you have them start, and who should they look to for that guidance?
So there's no single answer of where to get started, I would say, but I started at my local affiliate. So that's definitely one option. People have started with TESOL at like professional councils or being involved with the convention. If the convention is, at a certain state in the U.S., for example, you can start, if it's your state, you can start being involved there. So there's no single answer or pathway, I would say, but consider talking to folks who have been involved and get some advice as to what do you think is, one pathway that I could take. And that's what happened to me. I was mentored by Dr. Leah Kamenstein, who was so I met her at California TESOL, and she was the one who was really who gave me the first push, and
to get
said,
started.
You should really be involved, and also told me about TESOL.
Yes.
and it was because of her also that I attended my first convention. And once I attended the first one, I have not missed a single one. So in 20,
So how many have you attended?
23 years.
Oh wow!
Yes,
So you haven't
years.
missed one.
No,
oh,
no.
That's
Even
impressive.
the one that we missed in 2020, we also had the virtual.
Yes.
So I consider that as part of
well, that doesn't
not
count
missing
because that was well.
exactly.
That's also a very proud moment to be able to say you've been to 23
Yes.
TESOLs and been a part in some way, shape, or form. That because that's impressive.
Yes,
that's
yes.
very impressive.
So it's really like how you get started. You attend conventions. It could be at your affiliate, and then you can learn more, come to TESOL. Sometimes it's quite expensive for students, for example, to come, but there are also different scholarships that TESOL provides, and sometimes universities, if you're in a master's or PhD program, they provide some supports as well. So I always sought all the opportunities that I could, funding opportunities that I could take, and so that allowed me to come, and then once you start, you kind of get hooked on it.
Yeah, and then you don't want to stop.
You don't want to stop.
and then you're 23 years later, and you're still coming.
Exactly.
So then you will be, I hope, and at the Houston TESOL that will be next year in Houston, in our home state here with our media crew. We're all from Texas, so I look forward to being able to see you there in Houston as well.
Thank you so much. Yes,
well,
I will definitely be there.
So much for sharing your wisdom of the importance of TESOL, because I think again that some people don't realize that it's more than a conference. It is a community, and then there's so many other opportunities outside of the conference. So if you can't make it to the conference, there's other ways for them to be involved and be a part of TESOL
and be engaged. And so I wanted to mention also I will be the recipient of the James E. Alatis Award for service to TESOL. So it will be tomorrow, and so I wanted to just highlight the importance of this particular award, named after its first executive director, James E. Alatis. And so it's a legacy, right? So, and I think being recognized for service to TESOL, not only the association but the field, is really important. And for me specifically, receiving this award named after James E. Alatis, such a major, person, and he has passed away. And it's just really amazing to have that award,
what is
named after him.
Exactly for you. Like what does it, being able to say that you're a recipient of that, what does that feel like for you?
I think it's the recognition by the TESOL community. So this award is voted on by the board of directors, and I think there's a nomination process that comes from peers. And so Dr. Christine Kuhm, who's also a past president of TESOL, she nominated me several times. It's so one of the things that I wanted to kind of mention also is that sometimes you get nominated for things once and you get them, like my election to the board and to the presidency. I was nominated and got elected right away, but for this award, I was nominated several times, and I'm getting it now.
So congratulations!
It kind of makes it extra special because of Christine's persistence in the nomination process, and also she was joined by several other people that I'm going to mention tomorrow, supporting the nomination. And when I talked to her and I said, "You're nominating me again?" and she was like, "Yes, until you get it. I'm going to nominate you until you get it."
No.
So I think this notion of being persistent and, in what you do, really recognizing the service that people have dedicated, their life.
Well, and I think that's what's so important, is that what you said about them voting the board makes, is that, and you're nominated by other people from the
Yes.
organization, it just validates all the work that you've done, and
Yes.
that they see it and they
Yes.
recognize it,
Yes.
and they want to celebrate and honor you for all of that,
Yeah.
your commitment to TESOL.
It's a really tremendous honor, and I'm surprised I didn't get emotional, because every time I talk about it, I get emotional. So I'm really trying to hold,
So that you're
my
practicing
emotions
for tomorrow.
Yes,
Yes.
because it's really
Well,
important.
congratulations.
It's really
Oh.
important, and it's such an honor to receive this award, again named after the Alatis.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And congratulations. And I can't wait. Hopefully we get a chance to hear you speak. And if you get emotional during your speech, it's totally okay. No one's going to be no one is going to be upset or think otherwise. Like, it comes from the heart, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. Well, thank you.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And thank you everyone for being here with us at the 2026 TESOL Media Lounge. Remember, keep learning, stay curious, y hasta la próxima. Disfruta el viaje.